I think as a young generation, the main struggle that we struggle with is the fact that we don't know what we want to actually do. When in fact, as a kid, we had so many dreams, and over time, those dreams just started getting killed and killed. And then eventually, we just said, oh, we'll just forget about it. It's unattainable, it's not unimaginable to do. Yet, when you see your favorite artists, your favorite people doing what you want to do, you just like think, oh, I guess they made it. I guess it was just the algorithm, or I guess they just ended up getting that brand deal. No, they had this undying certainty or undying hope. Not even that, just determination to get there that you're just making excuses for why you're not even starting. I really do think that there is an issue with these older generation people that didn't go for their dreams and went for the stable job, which was what you were supposed to do. And not saying anything was bad with that or that they're bad people for that. It's fine. That's the way that they decided to do their lives. But are you also going to accumulate to the same thing that they have done? You should also never take advice from people that have not gotten to the goal that you are trying to achieve. You can take some of their advice in retrospect, you can take it and you can leave it. It's literally as simple as that. And some people get really obsessed with people that aren't even in their industry or their niche and just being like, oh, well, because they told me this and they told me that. Like, no, you should be listening to what your favorite YouTuber is doing. You should be listening to what your favorite singer is doing, what your favorite person in school that's really good at singing is doing. And if they're still following that, why aren't they? Why are they? But mainly, it's what's in here. It's not about anybody else in this lifetime. And I can guarantee you, no one gives a shit about what you do. And also, they won't give a shit of what you accumulate to at the end of the day. But what you care about is how you feel about yourself at the end of the day. I don't think anybody else can take away that feeling from you because that's your self achievement feeling. That's, oh, I've done this. I'm so proud of myself. Not, I went for the easier thing. I went for the thing that other people told me to do, but I feel sad. I don't feel like I've accomplished anything. I don't feel like I'm living. And I think we really need to get out of this idea that we have to live by everybody else's standards. Like, you can literally jump on a bus and leave. Free will exists. Obviously, there's restraints here and there. I can understand that life gets in the way, but I don't think life is an excuse to not be doing the things that you actually want to be living for. If you want to travel, make that shit happen. You don't have the money, you start working, and if that's your goal, you will be so determined to work your ass off and save up to go traveling. And then maybe you might meet people along the way. Maybe you'll start getting a visa and you'll start traveling and using a working visa. There's so many things available in the world, but you're just shaded by everybody else's opinions that you're not searching further for yourself. You might feel lazy. I feel like that's a big thing myself. You feel lazy, you feel unproductive, or you think maybe because you're doing that stuff and avoiding the thing that you don't actually want to do the thing. But actually, you just need manageable steps to get to that thing, whatever it is. But you're just also avoiding using your brain to do so. And if you're someone that's also scrolling on social media, I'm sorry, but your attention span is so shit. Mine as well, but it's improving slowly because I'm realizing that social media, the scrolling habit, is not helping you learn anything. Maybe here and there, but not fully like an education or the life of education. Like, you can be a university student, you cannot. I'm not a university student. And I'm proud of that. I'm really proud of that. And because I don't think that nowadays they're useful in some senses. But as well, to the person that's going to uni because they actually wanted to go to uni, good on them for going to uni because that's what they wanted. But if you're doing it for your parents, if you're doing it for anybody else's reasoning besides yours and what you feel and what you want your life to be, you shouldn't be doing it. You should not be doing it. You should find the easiest way to get out of it as soon as possible because you will actually fuck up your life and you will feel so shitty at the end of the day. You'll learn maybe some things here and there. You'll get the shiny degree. But guess what? Everybody that I know that did not like their degree has never touched it ever since or ever used it ever since. And now Sometimes degrees don't get you the job. Sometimes they don't get you where you want to be. And that's okay. At least you learned something. I'm not saying if you've done that, you hated the shit, that you're a bad person. I'm just saying take what you've learned and expand, but in your way, but not what everybody else wants you to do. I just think people really need to realize that. And the sooner you realize that, but actually make manageable steps to get there, then you will finally get to your goals. You will finally get to the dream life. It's not about manifestation. You can say everything about manifestation, but it's actually, you didn't manifest getting that house. You didn't manifest the job. You actually went to the interviews. You applied for a shit ton of things. You then looked for houses, and then you actually accumulated money to buy the houses. You didn't manifest it and it magically got there. Manifestation is bullshit, but if you want to label it like that, sure. But then don't make the excuse that just because you sat down and just waited for manifestation to happen, that is magically just going to happen because it's you. And manifestation has happened before. But it's mainly because you actually took manageable steps and got to a goal and completed it that you got there. Manifestation is bullshit. But if you want to label it like that. But make sure that you know that in the background, it's because of you doing that. You manifested that shit for yourself. You didn't let anybody else or the universe manifest it for you. You made it on your own terms. You made it to that position in your terms. You made it to that point in your life by your terms, not from anybody else's. And I think you should live by that. Because at the end of the day, when you die, do you really think that you're happy with the road that you're going down? If you're not happy right now, change. Because it's not the thing that you want to be doing for the rest of your life. And religion, not religion, whatever you want to say, if you don't think, or if you do think that there's an afterlife in the next world over, then that's all good. That's a way of coping. But there's no solid proof on that. And I think you should really, it's the most cliche thing ever, but you should really live as if you are not living tomorrow, as if you're dead tomorrow. Live today as if it's tomorrow and forget about everything else, because people come into play and people really do mix up our signals and mix up what we feel. And sometimes we do lose ourselves for a while. But I'm so happy for the people that actually realize that, internalize it, and then decide what to do with that for their own terms, not for their terms, not because their parents wanted them to have a bachelor's degree or a business degree and go do business. But if they wanted to, it's because I wanted to do business. It's because I actually wanted that degree, not because anybody here or there wanted that, because those are years and days and hours and weeks, lifetime of knowledge that you could have been dedicating to yourself rather than someone else's ideals and hopes and dreams that they never got to achieve. Majority of people that will be recommending you to go down the safe route is because they chose to, and because they're upset that they didn't go for the route that they really internalized and really wanted. Their childhood dream didn't happen, but that's because they didn't take the steps to get there. You want to be on a TED Talk, you apply to go to a TED Talk. You want to be a business person, you get the business degree, or you actually just start a fucking business and you go through the ropes. Like, it's simple as that. You got to think of things so simplistically and sometimes take the emotion out of it, because the emotion is what's really holding us back. And the brain is a funny thing, and it will really contradict and find most negative things before it does find the positive. But if you rewire your brain and actually think of the positive before the negative, you will actually find that there's a lot of shit that you could be doing right now positively, even if it's in a negative moment, and you can still find the positive out of it if you just rewire your brain to not think of everything as a shitty misery. Because life is not like that. Every shit point that you've gone through is getting you to the best version of yourself, whether you like it or not. Like, it's happening. And whatever you accumulate to is because of all of those shitty days. It's because you went through them. And then you'll look back and you'll laugh. Yeah? And obviously when you're in the moment, when you're depressed and when you're going through the struggles, you hate it so much. But I sometimes, in those struggles now from changing my mentality, sometimes laugh to myself. I look hysterical, but I laugh to myself because really it's funny, because this is going to get me somewhere. and this is not going to define me because I can change either way. Just so you know. That was my little piece of advice for today. Anyway, bye!